Hey everybody, my name is Lindsay Red, and this is the assignment for the first video blog that we have. It's talking about culture and if we know what our heritage is. Yes, I know mine. It is a mixing, melting pot of everything, but I am Lebanese, African American, and Scottish. My mom's side is where I get the African American and Lebanese, and the Scottish is where I get my dad's side from. So it's fun to have people look at me and go, "You're what?" So yeah, it's always entertaining. And it wants to know what your heritage is, which I've talked about, and a little bit of how that's passed down through our family. On my mom's side, it's just talked about. It's through stories from grandparents and that type of thing. But on my dad's side, I am sixth generation native from Ocala, Florida. And there was a really boring book. It's called The Timber Tycoons that was written about my dad's side of the family. So we have a very written out story of everything and how it went. It talks about the stories of like my great grandfathers and that type of thing, but also it just talks about some of the cultures and traditions that they had. The next question is how is one's race or ethnicity related to their culture? It's in everything. On my side specifically, I wasn't born in Scotland. I wasn't born in Lebanon. But a big thing about our family is a lot of the Lebanese traditions have come in and influenced in our family. So ours is food. It's huge. It's everybody's in the kitchen. Everybody works. Everybody cooks. It's where all the stories get told, and it's where everything happens. So the food is such a huge part of how our families get together that it goes hand in hand, and it's because of how making the food takes so long. Because one of the things that we'll have is like tabbouleh. Lebanese food is very Greek-like. So it's your grandmother teaching you how to put in the correct ingredients because her grandmother taught her, and it's just a lot of fun and how everything goes. So it's those go hand in hand for us. Like at Christmas, we have all the traditional stuff of an American meal, but then we have all the other stuff added in as well. So grape leaves, tabbouleh, as I mentioned, grilled lamb is a huge thing. So it's a lot of fun. We have a lot of fun with all of that, and you are required to be there in our family meals. You have to show up. So a small family gathering for us is like 30, which is like a Tuesday. The next question that it says is, what impact does art have on culture? It's just the way our stories are told. It doesn't have to be great art. It just has to tell the story of the culture. My great grandmother on my mom's side was an artist, and she loved to paint, but there's pictures of her villages from when she was living over in Lebanon before she came to the States. There's just paintings that she has of when she was in the kitchen and how things were made. It's such a story, and it's so relevant for us being able to keep the stories of our cultures alive, and it's so fun for it to be passed down through the family. It's always fun to look through and find, and it's such a great part of it. So let me see what the next one is. It says, discuss an example of a couple of different options. I picked the cultural relativism. It's being able to understand the beliefs of others from that specific culture's point of view with a judgment-free type thing. And I kind of have a funny story. It's one of those where it's not right or wrong is the whole point of this. It's just you have to view it from the culture itself. One of the things that we eat as a Lebanese dish is something called kibbeh. And it is basically, it's seasoned raw hamburger. It sounds so disgusting, but it's something that I grew up with, and it's very difficult to make, and it's a very long process because of all of the seasonings that are put in it. It almost has like a cooking effect to it, but it's one of those things to where if someone from the outside looking in from a culture that might not even, eat hamburger, they would think it was completely wrong and horrible and that type of thing. But it's just something that I've grown up with since I was a kid. So I remember the first time eating it and telling my friends, and they were just so grossed out by it, which I'm sure many of you are. But it was something that it's culturally relevant to us, but it doesn't have any effect for others, and it's not right or wrong. It just is what it is. So I think that covers everything. I hope you guys enjoyed listening. And thank you so much. Bye.